Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to gather around the radio for another episode of Confession Time with Chris Williams. New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, joined by licensed marriage and family therapist Chris the Confessor Williams and clinical psychologist Dr. Jill Hubbard. 1-800-229-3000 is our number. We're going to be here for 2 hours today, and we'll get to the phones as soon as Chris gets something off his chest. What is it, Chris?
Okay, I got to get it off my chest. So the confession today is I'm a coward. And so,
Chris.
I know, it sounds harsh.
Now it makes so much sense.
It's all coming together. Yes. So what I mean by that is I truly believe we all have fear and cowardice in us. And this came to light for me because I have a couple of clients, one on the consulting side, one on the therapy side. And these particular guys are facing unbelievable amounts of threats and challenges and struggles that is testing their ethics, their faith, that is even testing their livelihood. Wow. And over and over, they just keep taking one more step of courage. And I sit back and I honestly get this front row seat where I feel like I'm the one, and this is the other confession, is that us therapists, at least me as a therapist, oftentimes learn as much from my clients as they will ever learn from me. Because each of these guys, in their own ways, in their own situations, just keep taking one more step of courage forward. Even when the last step of courage didn't work out. And it just keeps baffling me, and I keep marveling at it and thinking and putting myself in that situation and asking myself, would you be able to make these courageous decisions in the face of such imminent threat?
Right.
And this has just kind of led me down to, a deeper aspect of so many different areas of my life where I tend to be a guy who's conflict avoidant, who wants to just keep the peace and not stir the pot. And so even when something needs to be said or a conviction needs to show up or a decision needs to be made, I'm constantly weighing the costs. And not that that's a bad thing, but where it can be at fault is that fear oftentimes gets the final say. Rather than what is right, what is good, what is godly, and ultimately what is courageously necessary. And so I just find that now that I look around and I'm like, oh, so many of us remain quiet or remain hidden or go along with something that is contributing to something that's harmful or something that's evil or something that's just not right or not good simply because of our cowardice. And I'm just reminded of God's command to Joshua when he's about to enter the promised land. And 3 different times in the first chapter of Joshua it says, do not fear, followed by be strong and courageous.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. But I think that you mentioned that these guys are courageous in the face of things not working out. And I think we're called to courage. God gives it to us when we need it, and it's not based on the outcome.
Yeah. I think that's really important.
Whether it's the right thing or not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not guaranteed the outcome of it.
And that's what we want. And that's what we're afraid of. And so we sink and we trust our fear over what we know that God is telling us to do.
Well, I oftentimes say this. Faith is a risk. If there's no risk, don't call it faith.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call us for the next 2 hours. One call could change everything. Join New Life now. Join New Life Live now for answers that bring peace and direction.
My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
I went to the Restore conference, which seemed to be the missing puzzle piece where I was able to find my voice.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we are not stuck because someone else made a decision. God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, March 6th to the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
I'm navigating my world now. It feels so wonderful.
I've had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
It's the season of giving thanks, but if you're going through a hard time in life due to grief, depression, a disappointment, you might need some inspiration. Here's a tip sheet that we would like to send you. It's called 8 Ways to Adopt an Attitude of Gratitude, and we'll send it your way at no cost when you call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And Sally is coming right up, but first Chris he had one more thought that he wanted to share about about the cowardice that we talked about.
Yes, so there is something that I look back on an act of courage of when I've struggled in my life. I think the most profound impact of the act of courage I've ever had is the courage to ask for help. There is something in our culture where it's that strength is being able to do it on your own, and it's the exact opposite. Yeah. That is cowardice hiding behind faux strength. The courage is to say, no, I'm struggling here, to have the humility to admit that we got something wrong, something's going on, and courage is reaching out and asking for help. So I'm asking listeners today, hey, have some courage. Yes. Courage is a muscle that needs exercised. Yes. Exercise it today.
Yeah, and especially guys. Guys
100%.
Yes,
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We're the ones that, no, we can do this. We can handle it. We got it under control. No, we don't.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't mean you're not afraid, so do it afraid.
Yeah. Jill, you always say that, and I always love it every time. Every time, do it afraid. I love that line.
Call in 1-800-229-3000. Even if you're like, speaking of do it afraid, your hands might be shaking as you pick up that phone to dial 1-800-229-3000 because you're so nervous to get it out. But it can help. So call in 1-800-229-3000. Let's talk to Sally in Shreveport, Louisiana, watching us on YouTube. So we'll wave hi to Sally. Thank you so much for watching and for calling in today. What's up?
Well, I have a dilemma that I'm struggling with, and I could use some advice about it. My younger sister has decided that she wanted to give her kidney to a stranger. She helped me through a double lung transplant in January and said that she was very motivated by what I went through to donate her kidney to someone. But when you have a double lung transplant, you often patients end up needing within several years a kidney transplant because of the drugs that you have to take. And so I asked her if she would wait and not give her kidney right away in case I needed one, because my kidney function had already declined a little bit, and a sibling is your best bet for a match. And she declined to do that. And it has crushed me. And I'm so mad about it. And she says that she's doing it because God told her to. And maybe that's true. I don't want to really question that. But I have seen her several times say that God was telling her to do something and then watched whatever she did blow up in her face. So I have to admit that I have a little bit of a suspicion about whether or not how true that is, or if it's just her.
Sally, how often do you see your sister, and will you be seeing her for the holidays?
no, I won't be seeing her for the holidays. And I don't see her that often. When we grew up, we weren't really that close. But in the last few years, since I'd been sick, we'd gotten really close. And then she came and helped me. Literally gave up her life for 3 months to help me get through my transplant. And I felt so much love, and that we had really gone to a different level in our relationship. And I feel like this decision took a sledgehammer to it, that it just crushed it. And I just don't even know how I can get back. But my question really is, am I wrong for feeling the way I do? That I wanted her to do that. Is it wrong? I know it's her kidney and she can do whatever she wants to do with it.
All right, Joel, we'll start with you.
Sure,
The Bible tells us.
Sally, it doesn't jump out at me as a right or a wrong. But your feelings make a lot of sense in all of this. I love that your sister did rally for you and that you felt like you were closer to her than you had been growing up. And obviously, if a family member is the best match for you, it makes perfect sense that you would say, okay, well, sister, if you're willing to do that, please, can you wait? Can you wait for me? Yeah. Because it's a strong possibility for you. So that makes maybe put in writing to your sister about just how you felt with her there, and how close you felt to her, and how while it's her body, she can do whatever she wants. You're not going to question what she feels God is telling her to do, but at the same time, it's hard for you to understand because she
I've
would.
done that.
You have, okay.
I had the conversation with her even.
Okay, and that's when
She's no, I'm not changing it.
So then it's more of a matter of changing Sally's mind and heart to make sure that...
Well, Sally, there's a lot here because you had mentioned that you weren't close with your sister, that you got close over the sickness that you had, the illness that you're struggling with, the lung transplant, or which is mind-boggling to me because that is a huge procedure in which he helped, and so the kidney thing is an add-on to all of this, and it has me a little bit perplexed.
I know, because you said that you've seen a lot of things that she thinks the Lord is telling her to do kind of blow up in her face.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if sometimes, and I
Well, it seems that, I'll just say this,
Okay.
Sally, it seems that your sister is a bit of a rescuer.
Yeah.
But guess what rescuers do? They rescue on their own terms, not on the person they're rescuing terms.
Okay.
And so she's going to be helpful, but she's going to be helpful, again, with her own definition of that. And I think that it must have felt like heaven for her to come in and care for you the way that she did. But what I also think was that wasn't indicative of the history that you guys have shared together in your relationship. And so I think that the expectations on both sides got skewed as a result of her caretaking. And so then there's this exchange, the exchange of a kidney, of a potential need for it in the future as a sign of love and care, also gets confused in that. And that's where it's kind of a little bit of a jumbled mess, in the sense that the relationship doesn't seem to be built on shared life together over time, but the exchange of care in moments of crisis.
Well, and there's also, in rescuing, there's an emotional high that goes along with rescuing.
That's a good point, yeah.
And so if you're feeling like, okay, I'm meant to do this, well, the moment is now.
Yeah.
Delaying that gratification is hard to do.
Yes.
Because you're an unknown, Sally. You might need it, you might not. And the emotion is not gripping your sister right now.
Yeah, and it's just hard because it's like it may be your experience that, I found the person I can depend on, and now they're one more person that's undependable for you. And that could be that expectation.
Well, you found her and now you've lost her again.
Yes, and it could be just a huge disappointment. Where I would actually love for your relationship with your sister to be based on something different than a crisis. and a need based on shared life together. And I just want to encourage you. Sally, I don't want to minimize what you're going through whatsoever, but to reapply your faith in God to saying that if in the future my kidney is going to need to be replaced, I'm going to trust the process and trust God to provide that for me so that my sister doesn't hold a godlike position in my life.
Sally, we're going to send you a copy of Living Strong, Finishing Well from the newlife.com store. Thank you so much for calling in today to New Life Live at 1-800-229-3000. We are live on this Tuesday, and we would love to talk to you at 1-800-229-3000. And now here is Kay in Washington, D.C., who is also watching us on YouTube. So we got to wave hi to Kay as well. Thanks for calling in today, Kay. What's going on?
Hi. I had a question in regards to how to seek God for intimacy when you're not getting it from your spouse.
Okay. How long have you guys been married?
9 years.
Has it always been like this, or when did it start?
Yeah, I actually called a few weeks ago. There's been infidelity on my husband's side, and I just feel like he's been detaching for the last, 2 years, and it's just getting to a point where I just feel like he doesn't want to invest in time together or anything, and I'm just feeling very deprived.
Mm-hmm. When you called us a few weeks ago, what was the advice that we gave you?
That I was asking just as far as continuing with my marriage and with my husband seeming like he's walking away from God. The advice was about intimacy deception, a lot of lies happening in the relationship, and I'm trying to still be the wife that I feel like God's calling me to be, and not changing based off of what he's not doing. But I just keep getting hurt in the process.
So, Kay, you're trying to be the best wife you can be despite his infidelity. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't want his actions to change the type of wife I want to be.
Well, okay, I understand that sentiment, and I think it's a valiant sentiment, but I think it's off. Because to be a wife, you have to have a marriage. Does that make sense? And right now, if he's acting outside the marriage, he's breaking his vows, he's breaking his trust and creating trauma in your life. And so trying to then be a good wife while he's hurting you doesn't help you, and it absolutely doesn't help him.
Yeah, Kay, I kind of feel like your question is, how can I keep going and pretend this isn't happening? And maybe if I lean into God and I'm a good wife and all of that, maybe all this will go away.
Yeah.
Instead of addressing, oh my gosh, the house is on fire.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we need to do something here that does require doing something different. And that is being a good wife. Because you just don't want to collude with his unfaithfulness and act like that's okay that he's going outside of the marriage. Because it's not. What do you think about that, Kay?
How do I do that?
Well, I think.
I don't know how that looks.
Did you receive a book from us called Intimate Deception?
I didn't get it yet.
Didn't get it yet. Okay. So I think the first step is start educating yourself on betrayal trauma.
Okay.
And then immediately, as soon as possible, get into therapy and recovery groups that deal specifically with marital infidelity and betrayal trauma. Because that's what you're going through. And it really is confusing. Your world has been flipped upside down. And the harder you try to close the gap of intimacy, the more it's going to backfire on you. And that's where it just gets really, really confusing.
But you're right. You do need the Lord. You do need to lean into Him, and you need godly friends around you that will walk with you, that you can share with, because it's hard to go it alone.
Are you plugged into community, Kay, with a church or a group?
When it first started, we were, but it kind of fell apart because he just.
Well, we're talking about you.
Are you in it?
No.
Okay.
No, because we were in marriage counseling, and
Gotcha.
can't do it by myself.
Okay, we're coming up to a break. We'll continue the conversation when we come back here on New Life Live. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call with your questions, your concerns about life in general, maybe your marriage, your kids. We are here for you today for 2 hours on New Life Live.
Are you ready for the holidays, or are you dreading the holidays? Well, we have a new webinar, and it's called Healthy Holiday Boundaries. The holiday season often brings joy, but it also can bring pressure, guilt, and emotional overwhelm. Healthy Holiday Boundaries is a 90-minute faith-based webinar. You'll learn how to protect your peace, manage expectations, and set healthy limits without guilt. Whether you're facing family tensions, an overcommitted schedule, or emotional fatigue, this webinar will help you reclaim calm and connection. This isn't just information, it's an invitation.
The Healthy Holidays Boundaries webinar is Wednesday evening, December 10th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com. Experience the freedom Christ offers and discover how to give your best yes and your healthiest no this holiday season. 1-800-639-5433. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
All right, we've got some more calls coming up, 1-800-229-3000, but let's continue with Kay. I think, Jill, you had something
Kay,
for
you
her.
were asking, well, so what do I do? So I understand that you were trying to do things with your husband because you're still operating and functioning like a married person. Okay, so Chris was saying your husband has broken that vow. So it's really important that you get help and not just wait for him to come around, because staying in that passive position and in that victim mode, because you are a victim, but we need some empowerment here, because you staying in that mode will not draw him back to you. So it's important, okay, you can't do marriage counseling, but you can do individual counseling. It would be important to do that. There are different types of group. Chris, you mentioned some. There's also 12-step groups, Codependence of Sex Addicts, COSA, that can be a helpful group when you're just, what do I do? My husband's unfaithful. We're going to send you Worthy of Her Trust so that you know what you should expect in this marriage. And I understand you're not ready to give up yet, and nor should you, but you've got to start doing some things and realizing that this behavior that he has isn't okay and doesn't get to be a part of a marriage because it's a cancer. And so cancers have to be cut out or they destroy everything. And so
All right, Kay, thanks for calling in today. Stay on the line, and we'll send you a copy of Worthy of Her Trust from the newlife.com store. And right now, New Life, generous friends of New Life have a pledged $475,000 to be matched. So please help us match it. When you give, your gift helps us produce and distribute radio broadcasts, podcasts, online resources, intensives, counseling connections, radio broadcasts, podcasts, online resources, intensives, and counseling connections through newlife.com. Yes, I know I said that twice. It's because we're going to be able to do that twice as much. So please give. You're helping to provide hope to people in their darkest places. We've already had a few calls today, and we're going to get to more in just a little bit. Whatever you can do, go online to newlife.com/match or text 28950. No, text MATCH to 28950 or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Another thing we do is we give resources away to the people who call in on this program. That's like 24 resources that we're giving away every week, and we can use your help to continue doing that. So please give. Right now would be a great time because of this matching gift challenge that we've got going on. All right, let's go back to the phones now. Here is Julie in Miami, Florida, listening on Sirius XM, channel 131. Hi there, Julie. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to say something before I ask my question. Can I?
Sure.
Okay, about Kay, the DC caller.
Mm-hmm.
I love the advice that you guys gave her because I was codependent. 15 years ago, I went through the 12 steps that Celebrate Recovery, and I found my family of choice. And yeah, lots of healing went on because of my first marriage. I was with him 23 years, and it just really, I was thrilled. Everything you said was what she needed to hear. So she can become confident in Jesus, her confidence needs to come up. And she can only get that through Jesus and through a strong spiritual family around her, a family of choice.
Which also makes our Restore Healing After Betrayal intensive so important. So, Kay, we would love for you to go to the next one. It's in March in Washington, D.C. So we would love to.
Right in her town.
Yes. Let me verify that. I know it's in March.
Oh, it's in Dallas. Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
sorry.
But still, it's worth the flight.
It's only half
yes,
way
it's
across.
definitely worth the flight. So, Kay, please, we would love to see you there at Restore. You can get more details at newlife.com. But go ahead, Julie. What is your question for us today?
Okay, well, I've had this habit for over 40 years of biting my fingernails. Well, it's actually my cuticles because they get dry. My nails are very thin and weak, and I pick at them, and then I bite them, and I think I'm going to make them look better if I just fix that little spot right there. So I fix it, and then it doesn't make it better. It just makes it worse. And it's when I'm bored. I'm a very busy person. When I have to sit still, then I get bored sitting still, if watching TV or driving. So it's just something I do, and I don't seem to be, nothing is on my mind. I'm not fretful or anxious about anything. I'm just watching TV, and yet I just can't seem to, I create more problems with my fingers just by keeping them in my mouth. And I think, should I get acrylic nails? Because I had those years ago, and I never put my fingers in my mouth when I was getting my nails done. Or is there a deeper problem that's making me do this that I'm just not aware of?
Let me ask you this, Julie. In your home growing up, was there people who lost their tempers quite a bit?
My mom.
Yeah. And when Mom lost her temper, what would happen?
Well, she yelled and screamed a lot.
Yeah. And did you
She never struck me.
But did you ever know what would set her off or what would trigger her to yell and scream?
No, she was very ill, and boy, she was just miserable. So
okay, so
I was usually I would do a lot of housework because she was so ill for years, and a lot of times it wasn't up to par, and I feared her getting angry for it not being done well enough.
Okay.
So that, yeah.
Okay, good. I have a lot to unpack with you when we come back from the break.
So stay right where you are, Julie, and we'll come back to you and everyone else who's calling in to New Life Live. We're going to be in the studio for 2 hours today. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call us, and 1-800-NEW-LIFE is the number to call to make a gift towards our matching gift challenge. We'll be right back.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
All right, let's go back and talk to Julie, who called in for help with this problem that she's had for several years, and that's biting her nails. She thinks the solution might be to get acrylic nails because then she won't. Yeah. But I'm so glad she realized, no, I think there might be something deeper. So she called in to New Life Live at 1-800-229-3000. And Chris, continue unpacking.
Yeah, well, the reason, Julie, I dug into your childhood is because you'd mentioned two things that tell on us. And I say us because it's very common. You said, well, I'm either busy or bored. And you didn't quite put it like that, but those are the two words. And I said, those of us who are busy and bored are actually something deeper. We are either distracted or anxious. And you said, well, I'm not anxious. Well, when you can't sit in a calm, relaxed way, which, Jill and I really, resonate with that because of our ADD and our own anxiety and stuff like that, is that there is all this energy inside of us. And it's has a lot of different names. I like to refer to it as hyperarousal anxiety. And that is when we grow up in an environment that there is a threat that is constant and unpredictable. Our body then has this buzz of anxiety around it, or hypervigilance inside of it, that's constantly ready for the other shoe to drop. And so
because movement is a form of protection, right?
Exactly.
And you were describing, Julie, if I have the house clean enough, then maybe she won't get upset. And always trying to guess what you can do to figure out a pattern.
Yeah.
Right?
What can I do to manage mom's mood so that I don't feel threatened? Even though when I do, it's even not good enough for her. So you start to see that there's nothing you can do to manage someone else's mood. If a person's powerless over their own mood, which your mom seemed to be one of those people, how much more powerless are you? And so it's just starting to recognize first and foremost, calling it what it is. I have a frequency or what I refer to as a buzz of anxiety in a static state.
Right. And let's just say, though, Chris, because you may not feel it, Julie, like you're not recognizing it as anxiety, because you might think of anxiety of someone who's like shaking and so nervous.
Yes.
Right?
No, my husband is 15 years now. I've been with my husband, my second husband, he's super chill. He has no expectations of me. He's just a wonderful, wonderful man. I don't even have to cook. I do clean because I'm a neat freak, but he doesn't have those expectations. I can totally relax. He knows me totally. I know him totally, and we're very chill with each other. And so I shouldn't have any anxiety.
Well, it doesn't matter if you should or shouldn't, because it doesn't matter if your husband is okay with you. What happens is, again, we're creatures of adaptation. You've adapted to this way, and there is this underlying anxiety that, am I doing enough? Is it enough?
Well, and unfortunately, Julie, it gets woven into the fabric of who we are. I love that your second husband is like that, because that gives you now the space to explore these things, because you don't have to be on guard as much. But our internal system is not oriented to time.
Yes.
So even though that happened a long time ago, when you're sitting still, it's like, okay, what's going to happen? There's a kind of an unconscious fear of what's next, right?
It's a baseline. I like to think of it as a dial. You turn up the frequency to a 10, and then you're in full blown panic attack, right? But you were raised in a household, you grew up in an environment where your baseline is probably a 4 rather than a 0. And so,
like 4 seems normal.
4 seems normal to you.
Most people, it would have been up all the way.
Yeah, 4 would have been like, whoa, man, something's off, something's wrong. Yeah. And so that's just that recognition. So that energy has to go somewhere. It has to get out. And so it's looking for a form of control. And so whether that be cleaning or whether that be picking or biting your cuticles, that's its form of trying to express itself or get out.
So recognizing that, right, and that the little girl in you really struggled, and acknowledging that instead of saying, oh, I shouldn't feel anything because life is good now.
Yeah.
No, I think there needs to be some acknowledgement of that and some compassion for what you went through as a child growing up.
And there's part of me that's like, great, I'm so glad it's cuticles.
Yeah, and
not Chardonnay.
Well, and so Julie, here's the superficial answer, because I always had nails. I never polished them. They would always split and break. And so I got gels for a special event, and my nails grew. And now I just have gel on top of my real nails. So
I love that.
There's the superficial answer.
Yeah.
See? Don't they look pretty?
But for guys who are nail biters,
okay, well,
not that I am, but
okay.
Yeah.
You can do yours too now.
Well,
it's really okay.
Well, that's a great follow-up, Brian, because this is something I still struggle with in my own life. Is that this anxious buzz of energy? You know, my home growing up, man, there was a lot of reasons to be anxious and a lot of reasons to be on alert. And so my body its natural state is to be on alert rather than to be in a state of relaxation. So for me, relaxation is a muscle that has to be practiced.
Okay, so here's something I learned recently. Breath prayer.
Yes.
Okay, you breathe in, deep breath, and you say, "Come, Holy Spirit." And you breathe out, and you say, "I receive your peace."
Yeah.
And you can do that all day long. And the deep breathing, we know, helps us, and it helps to relax us.
Yes.
But we're also inviting the Holy Spirit in.
Yeah.
And accepting what we know he can do for us.
Well, and this is one of the things that's so true. It's like, because it's so hard to practice. The truth is we resist what we need the most.
Yeah.
For instance, if you're not flexible, you need yoga. And you're going to be, if you're like me, you're going to be terrible at yoga, but that's what you need for your muscles and your joints to function. Meditation and breath prayer is the same thing. Meditation is about being able.
But it's hard to sit still when you're anxious, right?
Yes. And so for me, I have an app that I use that really guides me and leads me through. I only have to take 10 to 12 minutes of my day to do it. And trust me, there are times where, I mean, it's torture to get through 3 minutes of it. But the more I do it, the more I'm able to find that spot, that space in myself to find and to grow it like a muscle, that I can find more times of peace and relaxation and be able to access, I'll get that word out, access that space inside of me. But it takes practice.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Take the breath, deep breathing, and the yoga stretches. I don't do either one unless I'm really in crisis, but I'm going to just start doing it regularly.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, and look up breath. I love what Jill was saying. Look up breath prayer. You know, it's actually good. It's actually deeply embedded in the Orthodox Church, in the Orthodox tradition.
A few years ago, I worked with a couple of, actually I still work with one of them, but one of them doesn't work. I don't see him as often anymore, but he had an issue with biting his nails. So two different people, I should say. And so I looked it up, just wondering, why does this person always do this? And what I read was that sometimes it's that they don't feel like they're in control, so they do this to kind of just,
we control what we can.
But to the point of, biting your nails, maybe doing some damage to your fingers. I mean, that's just...
Or people who do skin picking to the point where they have staph infections. Right?
Yep. Well, I still do it to this day. I pick my lips when they get dry. And so, and this is where I have a lot of sympathy for this and empathy, because I do it unconsciously. My wife has to point it out to me when I'm doing it. And so what we wanted to be able to do is sometimes you use it, well, it's subconscious or unconscious as an excuse. Well, anything that's subconscious or unconscious can be conscious.
Yep. That's the goal, right?
It's just okay, make it conscious. Now we're aware of it. Now we're bringing it to the forefront so we understand a little bit more deeply what's going on inside of us.
All right. What would be a good resource to send to Julie there in Miami? Maybe.
I'm wondering if the devotional 100 Days of Peace would be.
Oh, yes, that is a good one.
Or the Freedom from Fear and Anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do one of the devotionals. We have several available in the newlife.com store, so check those out. In fact, Christmas is just, 5 weeks away or so? So I would suggest you go to the newlife.com store.
I receive your peace.
Yes. I'm going to go check out 100 Days of Peace after that statement about...
But you're going to read it in 37 days, right?
Yeah, right.
That's how far away we are from Christmas. So Julie, stay on the line and we'll get a copy of that to you. And everyone else who's calling in, we're going to be in the studio for 2 hours, so we will get to you. Stay on hold. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call. I was going to say Jim. We're going to go to Jim next, but Jim hung up. So Jim, if you're still listening, call back and we'll get to you. And everyone else that's calling in looking for help with whatever struggles that they're going through, we are here to help with your fear, with your anxiety, with your guilt, depression, anything. Give us a call. 1-800-229-3000.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Our final Every Man's Battle workshop of the year will be December 5th through the 7th in Washington, D.C. Yes, that one's in Washington, D.C. I verified that. If you're a man who wants to live a life marked by sexual integrity, plan to join us for this weekend. You can enter 2026 with a new trajectory, a plan, and the support of other men striving for the same goals. Visit newlife.com for all the details, and if you register by Friday, you'll save because of the early bird discount. And while you're on newlife.com, check out the Every Man's Battle podcast archives. It's under the resources tab at the top. Season 3 will begin on January 5th, so there's still time to catch up on episodes you might have missed. 1-800-229-3000 is the number to call us here in the studio today, and we're going to be here for another hour. And right now we're going to talk to Mary in Dallas, listening on KWRD. Hey there, Mary. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi.
Hello. How can we help you today?
Well, first, my question is, I wonder if I should get professional help. I've been clean and sober for about 33 years, but my 3 older sisters and my mom, they died like in the last 3 years.
Oh.
And my 3 older sisters were all drug addicts, and I found out that my oldest sister was a drug dealer.
Oh.
After she died, and she ruined so many lives in my family. And so also it seems to be bringing up some trauma from when I was a child, around 4 years old, where Mom left me and my other brother with Dad, and she took all of my sisters and my other brother away from me, and that caused so much pain, and they said I was inconsolable for a long, long time.
Wow.
But and then there was sexual abuse from my dad, and it's just I think I'm dealing with abandonment issues. But I'm trying to identify what's going on. I'm going through Regen right now through the church. It's a 12-step type of program, and I'm just wondering if I should get some professional help. There's more issues involved with this stuff too.
Well, Mary, I mean, first of all, congratulations on 33 years.
Yes.
And are you, I'm assuming you're in program? You go to meetings?
I did
okay.
I did AA, and I did NA, and I did Al-Anon for like 15 years.
Okay.
And I just got tired of it.
Okay.
So I decided that I would pick it up back in Regen, which is like the 12-step program through the church.
Okay, through a Christian 12-step. Okay. Well, that's good as well. And while all of that is necessary for being clean and sober, and it's extremely therapeutic, all the stuff, I'm wondering why you're even questioning whether you should get help or not. Because everything you listed makes perfect sense why you used. And also the fact that you've lost so many people that you had unresolved issues with. And yeah, I definitely think that you need to get into some ongoing therapy for all of the trauma that you have been through. That as a, go ahead.
What kind of help would they provide other than my thinking that I can do on my own by just having help and coping methods?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. If we think about it we'd mentioned earlier about a cancer in the body, early childhood trauma. In fact, there's something called the ACE assessment. It stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And we can already assess that your ACE score is incredibly high. And so this requires a very, very skilled level of person to be able to provide you with the right space and process to work that stuff out of your body. We store that within ourselves. And, Jill had mentioned earlier, I say it like this, trauma operates in Einsteinian time, which is relative. That means that yesterday and 20 years ago are today. Mm-hmm. And so where the rest of our life is lived in Newtonian time, which is linear, but not our trauma, not our pain. So unresolved pain that creates these woundings inside of us that show up as fears, negative coping mechanisms, emotional dysregulation, trouble in relationships, all of these different symptoms are ways in which that pain is still activated inside of us. And it takes a very skilled professional and a person who is really skilled in trauma recovery to be able to help you work through that and get the pain outside of you so that you can get more healing and health inside of you.
So finding somebody that you feel like you can trust, although trust is built over time, and to have the consistency. So this isn't something where you're just going to get answers, Mary.
Yeah.
You're going to be with someone over time, repeatedly, and so that you can feel safe enough to explore all that has happened to you.
I think we'll send you a copy of Healing as a Choice from the newlife.com store. So she says, why do I need to find someone? Why do I need to do this? Why can't I just, come up with some coping mechanisms like our caller earlier who we told about the deep breathing and everything?
Well, I hate to point out the obvious, but she's been, over a decade in 12-step programs, which is fantastic for her addiction. But she wouldn't be calling us if doing it on her own worked. This is, Mary is a person who is pursuing healing and health and growth. And there is a level of understanding and depth that these historical pains create inside of us that do take very skilled people to be able to access and be able to work through.
Just the grief alone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's so layered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has gone through a lot in all this time. I mean, sober for 33 years, that says a lot.
It says a ton, yeah.
Congratulations on that. And we just love helping people here at New Life Live. We don't know what situation you're going through, but we are here throughout the week here on New Life Live. And in fact, this program is almost finished, but we're going to be here for another hour. So keep calling us at 1-800-229-3000. We've got clinical psychologist Dr. Jill Hubbard and licensed marriage and family therapist Chris Williams here to help you go through whatever it is you're going through.
And Brian, can I add one more thing?
Yes.
I just thought about this, because I think so many people struggle with this, is that they start treating their addiction. And that's fantastic and so necessary. But all of the pain underneath driving the addiction remains untouched and unhealed. And I think of recovery as two rails on a train track heading in the same direction of healing, health, and growth. And one track is recovery for your addiction. It is absolutely necessary. If that's not there, you're going to derail. But the other one is a healing and growth process, is a therapeutic process. If that's not there, you're also going to, at some point in time, derail. You get both of those working together, you're going to end up in the right destination.
Yeah, you need to be able then to, once the addiction is, in a sense, taken care of, right?
Under control and treated,
Yeah, then you need to deal with all the things that drove you to the addiction.
Absolutely.
Right?
All right, you guys listening and watching, remember to keep Sally, Kay, Julie, and Mary in your prayers. They're the ladies that we talked to this hour here on New Life Live. And we're going to talk to more people in the next hour, so call in. 1-800-229-3000 is the number. And if you'd like to donate towards the work that we do here at New Life, we'd really appreciate it, especially right now because we're in the middle of a matching gift challenge. Go to newlife.com/match or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God bless you guys.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.